I'm not talking until they do their thing. Keep going.
Okay, wait, here comes the Macho Man thing. Here the Macho, and
Aren't they going to say Macho Man? Is it going to happen? No, we're going to keep waiting. Anyway, I'm Cindy Dole.
Just trust us. They're going to say Macho Man. That was the bit.
Who are you?
I'm Eric Stromer.
And this is Home Wizards, and we have that theme because we're talking about manly crafts.
Manly crafts.
Now, when you think about crafts, it kind of has you think of doilies.
Things with doilies and things with,
tassels.
Pastel things.
Sequins.
I don't want to do those.
Sparkles.
I know. I just had to paint Valentine's boxes with my kid.
You did it?
I did it, and it's fine, but it's not a manly project.
Okay, so do you know that there is a Pinterest page?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, here it comes.
Finally.
Hang on, wait. It's a Pinterest page for you.
Yeah.
It's called Pinterest Manly Craft Ideas.
Okay.
So when you have some
and
free time.
when you see it, have that song playing in your head.
The Macho Man. And so this is you, Eric.
Thank you.
And you wear a lot of really cool T-shirts. So did you see
sometimes, yeah.
And they have this thing on how you can turn, and this is a great manly craft, turn your T-shirt into a vintage, expensive-looking, rock and roll shirt.
Oh, that's kind of cool. What do you want to do? You just print it on there, right? Like, for example, what I think is really cool is you're
going to basically brine the T-shirt.
You can take a recipe and print it on there.
You can.
Like you could do, your favorite recipe and have it be like a quart of water or have a cup of salt, and then you brine it. You put the salt in the water and you soak it for a while, and then guess what?
You machine wash it.
You machine wash it. It gets that soft sort of.
Like you've rough and tumble.
It's been there forever since the Grateful Dead concert back in the 70s.
You're cool without trying.
That's right.
It's not going to look like you just got it fresh from,
I got to tell you, I've been trying on T-shirts before I buy them because, when you buy them, sometimes they just don't fit right. They look weird. They're too short or they're not soft enough. And this is the exact thing I'm talking about. You can take any bad quality T-shirt, turn it into that soft cotton. It feels great.
I love it. So how about if you wanted to do something to create your own built-in cutting board?
Oh, this is a great idea, by the way. So this is dedicating 2 different drawers. You're going to take the top drawer and turn that one into a cutting board. So essentially, you're going to drop the bottom out of the drawer itself. Instead, for the support in the drawer, you're going to put a piece of butcher block on top of the drawer. So imagine you would open the drawer up, and there's a little reveal that comes up from the drawer unit itself to the drawer, and that's where you place in the cutting board. You cut a hole out in the center so you can use it when you're chopping your stuff to cut, and then just scrape the remnants into this hole that will then drop down into the bottomless drawer, which is then a garbage can receptacle.
So it's almost like a chute. It's like a laundry chute.
It's like a laundry chute for chopping
the
vegetables. Because I tell you, here's what I do. I get my stuff out, I start cutting, and then I have to slide the garbage can across the kitchen, have it next to the cabinet, and then precariously try to get the old celery bits into the garbage can. Forget it. This takes the work out.
What is the secret, though? Because when we're thinking about the perfect hole, right? We want it to be very smooth around the edges.
Well, I thought you'd never ask. Okay. I was waiting. It was like a slow pitch and softball.
I'm a good
Here
student.
It comes.
Okay.
You can either A, use a hole saw, which they sell in a multitude of sizes, that goes on the end of a drill. It cuts big holes out.
Just
however
rams
big you want.
this like.
Yeah, it's like imagine a circle with little teeth around the perimeter of it that fits into a drill itself. And then it's got a little drill right in the center, and you drill into the wood, and then it catches and it drills a big hole. You can either do that, or if the hole is bigger than the drills that they sell, you can cut it out with a jigsaw. You just draw a circle on a counter, either using a compass or some kind of a flower pot, whatever size hole you want. Trace around the hole.
That's a good idea.
Do a pilot hole with a drill bit, and then place your jigsaw blade into that hole, and then cut around it, then sand it.
That's what I was going to say, because we want it's the sanding.
You want that smooth edge on it. So
we want it to look like it's art.
Hello.
Okay.
And then you put a little oil on that wood. Boom, it's ready to go.
And
seasoned.
Seasoned. Maybe a little oregano or a little garlic.
You can do whatever you want.
No, but do we need to put a finish on it?
Well, yeah, that's the oil.
And that's it.
I wouldn't put a color on it because you'll start to etch it when you use it as a cutting board. You just want a natural oil on it. You can use many different types of oil. You can use olive. You can use canola. You can use coconut oil, which is an amazing product.
I just had that this morning in a muffin.
By the way, my wife went to the doctor yesterday, and deodorant is not good for you. You're not supposed to put deodorant on. She said use coconut oil in your armpits.
Love it.
Which I found to be very awkward.
So you feel like you're in Hawaii.
Well, your arms would slip around. You couldn't. Too much grease in there.
How about this as a man craft idea? Who doesn't have Scrabble around? You have a board
I got
game
a couple
Scrabble.
of boards, yeah. I do.
And you have the leftover letters sitting around?
I have one that is incomplete, which I could borrow from and use those letters.
Okay,
What are you proposing
I might
here?
sell you a vowel or two. The idea is to create coasters where you spell out manly things like beer, brew, Java.
I like
Macho.
that. I
Fill
like
in the
that.
gaps, and it could be like 4 across, 4 down, and
that's
then
cute.
Isn't that cute?
And then you glue them on.
You glue them on.
Use that.
And that
I like
is your that's your football viewing coaster.
That's
Isn't that
really
kind of
good.
fun?
That's very, very cool. Yeah. How about simple shelving in a garage area where you're just using 2x4 stock to create 3 tiers to store things in big plastic bins?
Oh, okay.
Why wouldn't you want to do that?
Sounds great.
Simple, easy. You don't have to buy the store-bought stuff. You're just creating basically 4 legs with some shelving right in between. Piece of plywood goes inside each insert of your plywood frame. Done. Plywood is easy to work with. All
Very
you need is a
cute.
little circular saw, a couple of nails and a hammer, or a little nail gun if you have it. Done. End of story. You could even screw it together.
And it's manly.
Manly, easy. Done.
How about, since if you have kids or you just want to have the feeling of a beach, have a sandbox that becomes a covered love seat area.
Can I emphasize covered is the most important part of the sandbox? Why? Neighborhood cats use it as a restroom.
Those feral cats.
Don't want them.
Get out of there.
Slide the lid over.
So
back
it's almost
on top.
like a.
Yes.
It's a, what would you say? It's almost like a.
It's
a wood plate. It's a pallet.
It's essentially a simple sandbox, which it's 4 2x12s to create your exterior, right? And you just nail them or screw them off together to create a square or whatever shape you want. Then on top, you're building a little mini deck. You're just using like pine stock or whatever you want. And that becomes a deck that slides across when you're not using it. And then when you want to cover it up, you just slide that deck right back on. As long as you cover the sandbox, it's a great thing. If you don't, it really becomes like, look, Dad, I've got this thing. I'm playing with it. And you're like, my kid once did this. He picked it up and, well, it was Kitty Almond Roca. It was horrifying.
But I think that's a really neat idea. It gives you a sense of the beach. If you don't have kids, you
and
could
then
still,
it can be a little stage.
have
Like
some
kids,
s'mores.
kids love to do shows in the backyard.
Sure.
Mine always do. And then you spray them with the hose while they're doing it. This is one of our big games. Some would say it's child abuse. My kids happen to think it's fun. They actually have. They say, "We're bouncing on the trampoline. Spray us with the hose."
Cute.
I don't know why, but they love it.
How about a snack and drink storage for backyard parties? This is something that speaks manly crafts, and the idea would be to get a bunch of these galvanized tin. Buckets in different sizes, right? And how could we perch them on some kind of a shelving unit?
This is great if you're doing outdoor cooling your beers or anything. You're putting a bowl of.
It could be your garden center too.
It could be your garden center too. Yeah.
But for drinks and snacks,
it's essentially a stand, and you're using the old
the galvanized
tins, and then
in 3 different sizes.
Thank you. And all you have to do is get your shelving, make it plywood, cut out the shape of the galvanized tin so that can insert
like a planter
right into it. Yes,
yeah.
And then you can fill it with ice. You can fill it with guacamole, whatever you're going to do.
That's a lot of guacamole. That's a lot of guac.
That's a lot of hot guac on a hot summer day. Not so good, but you catch my drift.
I get the idea.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really clever and fun, and most importantly,
because I use for the kid parties all the time these styrofoam containers that break down. I hate them. But this permanent. Like it. Looks good.
Very, very clever. Yeah. What if you wanted to turn something from IKEA?
Yeah.
There are so many things, by the way.
You're amending the Swedes. First of all, if you can learn to read the directions of the Itzvikvinsum shelving system, then you've gone pretty far. You're ahead of the game.
But there are great websites, like IKEA hack websites that they devote. I mean, there are bloggers and groupies that devote their lives to figuring out a way to buy something cheap at IKEA and then customizing it to something you like.
Yeah.
For instance,
what do you like? Go ahead.
You could get there. They have these spice racks that they sell really.
They do a good spice rack, I got to tell you.
But what you could do now is turn like a dresser into like a combo mambo with shelves on the sides.
Sure.
Amending it with these spice racks that are on either side. It could be almost like a media center.
That's actually a really good idea. So basically, it's a traditional dresser, and then you attach shelving systems to the side of them, and it gives it sort of an architectural boost. It makes it look kind of mod and cool. The thing about the IKEA or any pre-assembled furniture that you buy, it has an issue of racking, meaning that they go back and forth from side to side because sometimes the backing isn't substantial enough. So sometimes to amend it, I'll put a little thicker piece of backing behind it and attach that on the perimeter of the back of the dresser. And then it doesn't do that rocking back and forth over time. Because with overuse, that it breaks down. And once those screws pull out of that particle board, it's almost impossible to fix them again. So I sometimes will do that and just put a little backing on it, make it a little stronger.
That's a good tip because I mean, I have some old antique dressers like that, and then it becomes an issue where you can't I know.
Yeah, and the whole thing's moving across the hardwood floor and scratching it as you're trying to open a drawer. I know.
Pain.
I know.
Now, what if you wanted to do something, again, we're talking about cool, manly crafts that are easy, that bring out the guy in you, to create a concrete light bulb wall hook.
And that thing is cool, isn't it?
Is that cool? It's cool looking.
It's cool. And so what they're doing is they're actually, you take the metal part where you screw that into the light socket. You're gently taking it off. Sometimes if you hold a rag around the light bulb,
because there's glass.
If it breaks, you're in a world of hurt.
Yeah.
But if you put a cloth around the light bulb,
a thick one,
and you take a pair of channel locks and gently go back and forth, twisting back and forth, you can get it off, right?
And then where's the concrete come in?
What you're doing is you're using that as a mold. You pour the concrete into that, and then you put the hook as it's setting up.
Oh, I love it.
The screw device into it, right?
And then
you let it dry, and then you break the glass off after it dries, and then you go ahead and twist it into the wall. It becomes like a hanging device.
Love it. All right. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole, we have more ideas for you. Wouldn't you love to figure out a way to get that orchid to rebloom?
Yes, because I buy them like disposable razors.
We got the secrets.
I don't want to do it anymore.
Ice is the trick. Eric Stromer, Cindy Dole, you're listening to Home Wizards.
Owls go by and they give me the eye.